I enjoy traveling with you, Miss Georgia, and the rest of the union. I feel like I'm a union member.
You are.
You know, the other day I had on the Rosa Parks shirt that we did years ago, and Rosa Parks' mug shots.
Yeah.
And there was some young people like, where can I get this shirt? And I was like, our party did it. I don't know, but they were like literally following me around about this Rosa Parks shirt. So again, it's so important because these are the same figures and people that society, the capitalist system, will put them in a box of pacifism and then repackage it and give it back to the community. But we don't show that revolutionary resistance, that history of resistance, that history of like the domestic workers and organizing in the 30s and the 40s, you know, because the Communist Party was the party of people of color for a long time. You know, we studied in Providence recently about Claudia Jones, you know, who disrupted the system here in the 30s and the 40s, so much so that Trinidad didn't want her back when they were trying to deport her, and she ended up having to go to the UK. But Comrade Monica shared, see, why y'all trying to lock me out? Comrade Monica shared some thoughts around the negotiations and stuff that happened during the Attica Uprising. And one of the attorneys that were a part of the negotiations that were brought in by the prisoners was William Kunstler. And I just love quoting him, you know, because he, and just the power of how he literally used to say, the mere fact that I'm white in America makes me racist. And he raised his children to understand that as well, because not only do we need truth-telling in our communities, but white America also has to have truth-telling in their communities. So this is the quote he talked about. When we talk about justice in America, we're really talking about justice brought about by the people, not by judges who are tools of the establishment or prosecutors who are equally tools of the establishment or the wardens or the police officers. You know, and so the aura of legality allows people to close their eyes, right? If somebody goes through a trial, they're like, well, they were found guilty. But Mumia was found guilty. So it was the problem. That aura of legality allows people to think that everything is okay, and we know that, you know, why isn't Bill Clinton in jail? Or Hillary Clinton for that matter. Okay? And, you know, I don't know too much about Trump, you know, but, you know, he ought to be in jail too. And so when we think about this, right, this is part of the reason why Comrade Monica is here, and I know everyone here is probably really engaged in this electoral process that we see going on, and how the system is so corrupt, it tells you you got to pick one or two. You know, you're either going to pick this one or you're going to pick this one. And in reality, neither one of them, neither a Democrat or a Republican, has ever done anything to advance the struggle of the oppressed. You know, I think it was George Jackson that said it very, you know, clearly that we got one enemy, and the enemy is imperialism. Simple as that. You know, but they are so good at creating these silos and these pockets that really and truly don't allow our people to come together. Because as we were talking earlier, for us, we can't talk about Assata Shakur and not talk about Marilyn Buck. We can't talk about Free Oscar Lopez and not mention, you know, Leonard Peltier. So for us, the struggle is international. You know, Amilcar Cabral, who at the same time today they're showing a film called Cabalista, he said, hide, you know, tell no lies to the people. Tell the masses the truth. Celebrate the victories. Let them know about the losses. Let them know about the challenges. Because that's how we're going to advance the struggle. You know, and so how do we continue to advance this? Because this is, as Jerry just said, we are in the midst of global finance capital up and down Boston. Comrade Monica, as you sit here today, I mean, Boston is like the #1 most gentrified city in the United States. It's a crisis. They're about to close down the homeless motels and hotels by September 1st, where a lot of people are sitting in. You know, so how do we sit there and sit with that? We can't. You know, I feel like we need that movement where there were bodies that used to go to block the death chambers. You know, I remember just watching the video of Shaka Sankofa. you know, and how many people surrounded the death chamber in Texas. You know, like, you're not going to get away with killing him. And it's not going to be seen around the world. So I want to thank you, Rob, for being here to document this too, you know, because the revolution may not be televised, but it will be documented. So I'm going to give the floor.
Rebroadcasted.
So I'm going to give the floor, yes, Frank, and then Alan and
I just wanted to say,
Bobby.
I just wanted to say how important this topic is, particularly for us in Boston and the history of our Boston branch. I remember very well, I mean, the failure of the whole left to support the Black Panthers, and every one of the various other parties had their criticisms as to why the various black organizations weren't revolutionary enough and weren't the solution, and so on and so on. And you could tell, in fact, only Workers' World stood up in solidarity with each and every formation struggling for black liberation. And that's the emphasis was on self-determination. And that was what it meant, that it was up to the black community to decide what organizational form, what demands, and we stood in solidarity with them side by side, and we're the only ones. And the mistakes that people made went so far as when the school busing and desegregation happened, and Boston became famous around the world with images of black people being ripped off of porches and you know, stones being thrown at black school children trying to get an equal education. And the revolutionary so-called Communist Party, one of the Maoist parties at the time, said that the busing, which was chosen by the black community as their means to gain access to equal education, was a ruling class divide and conquer scheme. They put out leaflets that were identical and with the same stop sign images, and as the ROAR, the Restore Alienated Rights, white supremacist organization that had marches against, you know, against the right of the black community to get equal education week after week. We organized the National March in Boston that pushed back the racist mobilization and changed the dynamics of the system and carried on very anti-racist defending people's homes, black families' homes that were under attack in the housing projects in East Boston and communities all around Boston. And it was the cutting edge. You know, if you were trying to find out who was revolutionary, you had to look and see who was fighting racism and putting their bodies on the line. And that's what the Boston School Bus Drivers Union grew out of. And that's been the central principle of our branch and of our whole party. Our first mass demonstration as a party was the 1974 March Against Racism in Boston. And we had reverse freedom rides. And buses came up, and Monica Moorhead was on those buses. They came up from the South to fight racism in Boston and from all over the country. We had a march of 25,000 people that turned it around in terms of the entire dynamic of what's going on in the city. So there is no more important question, no more essential ingredient than the relentless fight against racism and in support of self-determination for African American and all oppressed nations. And that's what Workers' World Party stands for.
All right. Alan, you had your
Yes.
The pin is coming out on the side. The pin. Right out there.
Oh, this?
This capital system needs to come to a dead end because the ruling class build these jails and they have home security, which basically protect, serve, and they're trained to kill. But if that's the truth, to protect and train to kill, why is it that most of these people, like colored people, are being jailed or being killed? So it's like we need to put capital system to a dead end. And they're aggressive. They use their work job aggressively. So because their job is aggressively, they're out there to train to kill. So it's mostly targeted of colored people automatically. So they're building more jails to get rid of us and to lock us away and to do their works of the belly of the beast. Thank you.
A little bit.
West Virginia building.
Somebody said something about Rosa Parks.
Yes.
I was in the back of them buses down there in West Virginia.
All right.
I mean, that's back in the 40s, man. This was back in the 40s. I'm telling you, man, I don't know how the hell I'm standing here. But I'm telling you, it was even tough getting out of from down south. Because you fight the damn Klan every damn day.
Yeah.
I'm fighting the Klan every damn day. We fight them Klan. I smack them upside the head too.
Yeah.
When they come through them woods at nighttime, I smack them upside the head.
You get one or two. I hear you.
It was rough. It was rough. I'm telling you. Yeah. And then you come to Boston, you come to the same. I had to run out of West Virginia because when I turned 18, I wasn't going to the Korean War.
Right.
All the guys was coming back in. They go into school and get the guys that didn't pass, 18, 19 years old. They take them to the war. They take them to the Korean War. Next thing you know, they coming back in body bags.
That's right.
So when I turned 18, I didn't register to go into the war. So after that, my dad wanted to put me in the coal mines, get the black lung and all that stuff. I had to leave. Now the sheriff, he's after me too. I said, it's getting kind of hot around here. I think I better leave. So I left. So I went to a couple more places, and the Army was looking for me. I went to Indiana. I went to Columbus. I come back to New York, and then I came to Boston. When they caught me in Boston, I was married and had 3 kids. So, so they backed off of me then. They backed off. But I came through that Black Panther Party stuff and all of that. That was a hell of a road too. I came through all of that. And I put my kids in Black Panther school over in Roxbury. Yeah, I had to take them out of the regular school because one of the teachers put his hand on my daughter. And I had to go up there and smack my side of the head a couple of times. And so it's a long story, but anyway, I'm gonna pass the hat because
Yes, the revolution.
with the revolution ain't gonna give us some money, so we need money to get Monica back to New York.
Yes.
All right, go pass the hat around now.
There are a few folks that I've been kind of quiet, you know, and just in my role as a facilitator, teacher, organizer, and it's all love, so I'm not going to put anybody on the spot that don't want to speak, but I'd love to hear from our guests, because I haven't seen you guys here before. I hope that you feel welcome, and I hope you come back again to the space. What were your thoughts on what you saw today?
Well, I mean, I personally generally support Black Panther Party, but I had not heard of that particular incident.